you guys, welcome back to my channel. Princess the Artist here. I am so glad to be bringing you guys a new video. This one is based on another show and teach, but this time it's going to be on highlighting and contouring. I will be walking you guys step by step on how I achieve my look when I highlight and contour. Also, I will be using liquids, powders, and I will be highlighting my body as well, which is optional. But yes, so I'm just gonna give you guys almost like a neutral type of look. I already have my brows done and I have my eyeshadow and also some lashes put on. But yes, this is also gonna be a really fun video, so I'm super excited to bring it to you guys. Also, if you wanna know when I do upload a video, definitely hit that notification, ring that bell, and it will let you know when I upload a new video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, you want to prep your skin by go ahead and moisturize or whatever type of moisturizer that you do use. And the next step after that would be a face primer. Face primers is definitely just going to be there to help definitely hold the makeup, give it a better longevity, and everything is going to look really pretty and really even. Mine is the Skin Refine Zone. This one is by MAC. I've already pretty much prepped my skin already, but just remember you want to do that before you apply any type of makeup, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you definitely want to put on your foundation. So my foundation is the Studio Fix Fluid. This one is an NC50, and this one is a buildable full coverage matte finish. So with this one, I'm actually gonna put this all over my face, and we'll see what happens. See how really pretty this looks, this foundation? So of course I use my beauty blender, the rounder part of it, and I just pretty much press it into my skin. And by pressing it, it pretty much it does the work for you. So you can either use a beauty blender when applying your foundation, or you can use a flat foundation brush, or you can use something really dense that's also a brush where it's the bristles are flat up top, and you're just doing the same thing, pressing into your skin. Now, if you're using a flat foundation brush, you're either going to go in a downward or a back and forth motion with it, okay? But I'm using a beauty blender, and if you are comfortable with this, which is really cool, you'll go ahead and just press it into your skin like so, okay? So now I'm getting ready to go ahead and do the other side, okay? All right. So you have it pretty much really nice and blended on both sides of your face, cheek, nose, chin on down, okay? So now you can also do your forehead area, okay? Same exact way, you're just gonna press it into your skin, and that's with using the beauty blender. Okay, so now we're on to the second step. So what the second step is going to be, I'm going to use a little bit of a color corrector that's just going to pretty much go underneath my eyes. Now the color corrector is there to help with any kind of imperfections on the face, something that the foundation couldn't quite cover all the way, or even dark circles. So I'm just going to put a little bit underneath my eyes just to kind of cover up a little bit, okay? Okay, so this one is the MAC highlighting color corrector. This one's in the color Peach Luster. So like I said, I'm gonna put this underneath my eyes. This is a liquid base, so you could do your color corrector first and your foundation, or your foundation and color corrector. Either way it go, this color will be covered with either your concealer or foundation, okay?
So it's like a turn up type of thing here. It's like a little turn up. So I'm actually gonna put this underneath my eyes.
Keep in mind, I am using the cone part. Okay, so now that is well blended into underneath your eyes. Now, if you were doing a color corrector anywhere else on the face, let's say the chin, let's say the cheek, the forehead, whatever, you would use the rounder part here, just like we applied the foundation. Rather, if you're also going to use a cream foundation, that's fine. You want to press it into your skin, but you want to press it in the area that you are looking to cover the most. Okay, all right, on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is going to be the concealers. I'm using 2 concealers. I usually mix my concealer colors. That part is optional. So the colors I'm actually using is Studio Fix 24-hour concealer, and then also I'm using Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Mocha. Okay. Okay, so you want to take this comb part here of the Beauty Blender and you want to press the concealer out, okay? Same way we did the color corrector, okay? And as you're pressing it, you're actually pressing this. It's okay if you bring it further down in the cheek where the foundation is, that's totally fine. Because once we start contouring, it's gonna cover that, because right now we're highlighting. Also, side note, what you can do is, say if it's blending down here, your highlight, that's fine. You can flip it over to the rounder part and you can actually begin to press it as well, just to kind of make it more seamless. You could do it that way too, okay? Same thing with the nose, on the tip going up in the middle. Use the comb part, that pointy part here, use that, and you want to press it, okay? Okay, so now we're ready for the next step, which is the contouring. Contouring is pretty much there to help sculpt the face. So sculpting means around the perimeter of the face, which is the forehead, going into the temple, also going into the hollows of the cheek. So when you smile, you'll see those hollows. And I usually stop where a pretend dimple would be. That's where you pretty much want to stop. You can contour with liquids, you can contour with powder, you can contour with cream. Either way, whichever you are comfortable with. I'm gonna contour with liquid. The reason why I contour with liquid is pretty much because it looks more seamless into the skin versus something that's just, it doesn't look like it's so heavy once it goes on when you blend it out. Okay, but no worries, I do cover it with powder. Now you can just do your contour with like the liquid or the cream if you wanted to, if you want more of that seamless look, and leave the powder out of it. Or if you want to continue with a matte finish or achieve a matte finish, you'll put a powder on top of that. Or if you just want more of a powdered contour look, you can go that way as well by just doing the powder totally by itself. It's up to you. But there is no wrong, no right on which 3 that you want to use to contour. Okay, let's get into the next step. Okay, so I'm gonna contour with the Studio Fix Fluid. This is in the color NW48. With this one, this is a much darker shade than I am. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this to contour with. Remember, when you contour, it's gonna be darker than your actual skin complexion, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and give it a go. Okay, so I'm also still going to use my beauty blender, but the rounder part when I am going to contour my face. So I'm going to actually contour the perimeter, which is my forehead, my temples, going into my hollows of my cheek. I also do my nose, but I'll show you how I achieve that, okay? So what you want to do, I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. You could put on the palette, however. And I'm just putting very little on my sponge, okay? I start in the middle of my forehead, and it's okay because some of this contour is going to come down a little bit. That's fine, okay? So start in the middle and begin to press it. When you press, you're allowing the product to blend, and you're also allowing the product to look seamless, okay? So I'm just going all the way around my forehead here. I'm adding a little bit more product. And I'm also bringing it so it's on the temple here, okay? And so I'm gonna actually bring that down. I'm still blending it though, which means I'm pressing it into the skin. And I'm gonna start to go in those hollows of the cheek, which is here, okay? So this is your cheekbone up here. You can actually feel it, but I'm gonna go underneath it just slightly, okay? Just like that. You can kind of already kind of see the contour a little bit. So the more you press, the more it becomes seamless. So now we're gonna do the other side, okay? Remember, I have just a generous amount onto my blender, okay? Now you can start back in your temple, I'm sorry, not your temple. You can start in where you started at the beginning of your forehead, or since you've already blended that out, you can actually start on the side of your head where your temple is and start to press that into the skin and then bring that into the hollows of the cheek here. You could do it that way, okay? Okay, so now that you've done both of your cheeks, temple, and the top of your forehead, so you can kind of see how it looks really pretty and really seamless in the skin, okay? Now, if you want to intensify this look, you can by adding powder, okay? Now, if you like this look, that's totally fine. It's a natural contour and a highlight look. You're good. Put a little setting powder there, a little powder around the face, around the contour, and you're good. But if you really want to amp up this look, I would say definitely putting a powder on top, and she's really going to make the contour pop out. Okay, so the powder that I'm actually going to use is the Studio Fix powder. This one is by MAC. This is also in the color NW48 powder. So I'm actually going to do the same exact technique that I did when I applied my liquid contour, okay? So this time I'm going to be actually using a brush. This one, this is the 109 brush from MAC. Whatever small brush that you have, use that one. I wouldn't go so big on the bristles. I will go something small like this one. This brush, it is dense. Dense just means it's more tighter, the bristles are together, and it's a little bit more flat up top. Okay, we're gonna use this one and we're gonna do it in the same exact way, same exact technique that we applied the liquid. So I just applied a generous amount here, and I'm gonna start right in the temple area here, okay? And you're gonna go in a buffing technique, keeping the bristles on the skin. Don't pick up the brush. So I'm just gonna do this side. We're just gonna follow how we did our first contour. So as you can see, when I buffed the powder on top of the liquid contour, it really brought it out, okay? So what I did was, I had product on my bristles, right, of the brush, and on the cheek area, I just went on top of the contour. But when you buff, you wanna buff upward, but still staying in those hollows of the cheek, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go on the other side and do the same exact thing, okay? And you can bring it back into the temple area if you like, to really make sure everything is seamless. Okay, now for our next step will be our setting powder for underneath our eyes to set the concealer. And also, since you did put concealer here on your chin, and then also if you put it here on the bridge of your nose, you can also put the setting powder there. Now, keep in mind your setting powder for your highlight, which is underneath your eyes, or also on your chin, and also the bridge of your nose, or if you've also done on your forehead or your cupid's bow, you definitely want to put your setting powder there. Now your setting powder is actually going to be lighter than your skin tone, but still enough to keep the actual highlight of the concealer going, okay? I just took a little bit of my powder. This one, I'm actually going to set this underneath my eyes first. I'm just going to press it underneath my eyes using the side of my beauty blender. Okay, so now that I pressed my powder highlight underneath my eyes, also the bridge of my nose, and also my chin, wherever I put the concealer is where you're gonna put that powder highlight. So now that I put that on there, I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much just kind of lightly dust it off. But by you dusting off your powder highlight, it's not gonna completely take it away because it's already settling in, okay? Okay, so now we're on to the next step. So I'm actually going to contour my nose. I'm going to show you guys how I contour my nose. I personally use a powder when I contour myself, but you can use liquid. You can also use cream if you like, okay? So I'm going to show you how I contour my nose. So I'm still going to use my Studio Fix and W48 powder that I contoured my actual face with. I'm going to use this to contour my nose. Now keep in mind your contour needs to be very, very subtle. It doesn't need to be harsh like your contour around your face if you're going for that harsh look, that harsh contour on your face. If not, if you're going for more of that softer look, you can, but I'm going to do something really subtle, okay? So I'm gonna take, this is my 286 brush from MAC. It's a blending brush. You can use any brush that you have at home that's a blending brush, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. What I'm doing is I'm actually tapping just a little bit of the product onto the tip of the bristles here. And I'm actually just going to begin to contour my nose, okay? So you wanna start, I usually start on the side of my nose here, and then I'll work my way into my actual crease, going up the nose area into your crease, just like that. It's gonna be slightly underneath your brow, okay? So back and forth and going into your crease, just like that, keeping the bristles on the skin, okay, just like that. So then you actually, once you do go into your crease and going down on the side of the nose, you want to bring it underneath here, because you don't want to be able to see where your contour starts and where it stops, okay? So just make sure you end it underneath the actual nose here, okay? So now we're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side, okay? And then working your way into the crease area here. I'm kind of going halfway in that crease area. You don't have to go all the way over, kind of like a halfway point. It should all connect. Now, if you really want to give the nose a little bit more definition within this area here, going into the socket, you can by adding just very, very, very little of your product, which is going to be whatever that you use to contour your nose, liquid powder or cream.
I'm just going to go in a little bit more to show you what that look looks like.
So it'll look more like that. It has like more depth in here. Okay, same way on the other side. Okay, so now we are done with the highlight underneath the eyes, which is the concealer, and the contour around the face, which we used powder and we used liquid. So now we're actually going to go into the step of putting your powder that's more of the skin tone around the face. So we're actually going to put it underneath the contour on the cheek, and then around the chin, the lip, and you could put a little bit on top of your forehead if you want to, especially if you feel like you put too much contour up top and you want to kind of tone it down a little bit. You can actually put your powder of your skin tone on top of that, and it'll kind of weigh it down a little bit, okay? So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so my next product is going to be the Studio Fix powder. This one is going to be in the color NW43, which is my actual skin tone in the powder. It's actually a powder foundation, I forgot to mention. Studio Fix powders are powder foundations mixed in one. So we're going to go ahead and use this color all the way around. I'm going to use my same brush that I used to contour my face with. I'm actually just going to use this one for my NW43 powder. That's more of my skin tone. I just pretty much clean the bristles off, and then we're going to go ahead and go with my powder. So what I do is I just press this all underneath the contour, of my cheek. Now, pressing it is just going to allow you to see the full benefit of the Studio Fix powder. But if you just want to kind of dust it back and forth or buff it into your skin, you can. Either way is perfectly fine. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna do some blush on my cheeks just to add a little bit of color. Now you can keep it like this if you want something super subtle, not so much color on the cheeks. So, but I'm gonna change up a little bit and I'm gonna put some color, okay? So I'm gonna use this color, it's called Raisin by MAC. I'm going to use this color here to apply on top of my contour. So what I do is I actually just press a little bit on there, not too much. You can do the side of it, you can do the tip of it. Either way, I'm just gonna buff it into the cheek. Now, side note, if you are a blush girl, you absolutely love a lot of blush, I would definitely say gradually put it on and buff it into your skin. Or if you just want to go to town and really put a lot more on your brush, you can and really buff it into your skin. You can go either way if you really, really, really love a lot of blush. Like if you want something a little bit more subtle, then I would say just take your bristle and then tap just very little into your actual blush color and then buff it into your skin, and then that way you'll have just a little bit and just enough color on your cheeks for your blush and not too much. So you can really go either way. Okay, so for our final step in our highlighting, I'm actually going to use this powder. This one is from MAC. It's a loose highlighting powder. This one is golden bronze. I absolutely love this color to highlight with. You can use many different brands that has highlighters, which are just as great. This one's loose. Or you can use a solid, which is more of a compact. So either way, so powder highlights are pretty much just there just to really enhance the look when you highlight and contour. So you want to put this on the high points of the face. So the high points of the face is going to be, of course, the cheek, which is actually going to be this time on the bone. So above where we put the contour, you can put it in your Cupid's bow. Now, the cool thing about it when you put in the Cupid's bow is whenever you put on your lipstick or gloss, it'll really kind of make that look pop out a little bit. You can also put it a tiny bit on your chin. You can put a tiny, tiny bit on the bridge of the nose, not too much, just a little bit, friend, okay? Don't go crazy on that one. And you also can actually put it underneath your brow bone to really make her pop out. Either way, whatever you are comfortable with, okay? So I'm actually gonna put it on my cheekbone. I'm also going to put it on my chin. Also, I'm going to put it just a tad bit in the middle of my nose, just a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way up, not even halfway, just a little bit, okay? And I'm going to also put some on my brow bone, okay? All right. So I'm actually going to take my 286 brush, the same brush that I used to contour my nose with. I'm actually going to use this to highlight the high points of my face. You can use it underneath your brow, or you can use a flat concealer brush for that part. It's totally up to you. Okay, so I just took very little on my bristles, just on the tip. You don't want to do too much, friend, okay? And I'm actually just going to go right on the bone. If it helps to smile, you definitely can. And I'm just buffing that onto my cheekbone. Now this color actually comes out more neutral, but the more that you add, the more it will come out.
So I'm adding a second layer to this. And I'm just buffing it.
You see it highlighted here. So I'm still buffing it into my skin, but I'm right on my bone, back and forth. And that comes out looking gorgeous. I'm kind of going back and forth on the nose, or you can actually just take a little bit on your finger and you can actually press it onto the bridge of your nose. It's still subtle, but still there. Okay. So I'm just actually taking a flat concealer brush and I'm pressing this into underneath my brows, very close to your actual brows as possible, and bringing it downward. Okay, so yes, that is pretty much how you highlight and contour the face. It's definitely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful look. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can highlight and contour on an everyday basis if you like. It is optional, but it's also a very beautiful look if you choose to do so. So now I'm actually going to show you guys how I pretty much highlight or bronze my body. It's really, really cool on how I do it now. Like I said, this part is optional. This is, you know, if you're going out and you're doing off the shoulder blouse, anything that's really kind of showing like the neck of the shoulders, you definitely can put a highlight there. You could do powder, you can do cream, you could do liquid powders, either one. Now, note, I'm actually going to do more of a liquid, and I'm going to just put a little bit of that powder golden bronze from MAC onto my body as well. So keep watching. Okay, so for my body, I actually use this one. This is from MAC. This is a liquid highlighter. Now you can use this on your face as well, but it's more for the body. This one is the Strobe. Now this is a limited product. This one's called Bronze Light. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one. So I start off with a little bit of this product on my finger. And what I do is I just kind of rub it into my hands. And I start applying this all over my body.
So I'm just pretty much rubbing this in like lotion all over.
You can kind of see my skin glowing a little bit. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this powder. This is the highlight powder I use on my face. I'm actually going to use it on my body on top of the liquid body highlighter. A blending brush, and I just go right there on my bone here. You can also bring it up into the skin here. Do a nice pretty glow, and I will be showing this off of the video onto a picture. I'll be showing you guys at the end what this actually looks like up close. Okay, so now we finished the highlight and the contour look. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in a quick lip just to finish the look. Okay, well, that completes my look for my highlight contour show and teach to you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and also I will see you next time.